Hey, Keith Cornett with CorvetteBlogger.com, and we are at one of our favorite places for Corvettes, which is Spring Mountain, and we took part today of some of the activities of the Ron Fellows Driving School and the Corvette Owners School. But interesting, I want to tell you, the group I'm with is actually not a group of Corvette owners. We were invited here by Capital One and General Motors to get to know more about the BuyPower Card from Capital One. And the group we were with are card holders who had purchased a new GM vehicle from the earnings generated from the BuyPower Card. It's the card that, as you spend, allows you to generate earnings that you can use as a down payment on a new Corvette or other vehicle from General Motors. And here's what I really like about the BuyPower Card from Capital One. You get 5% on the first $5,000 you spend. So that's $250 in earnings right there. And then once you hit that level, your earnings are set for an unlimited 2% for the rest of the year. And then what I really like is then in the next year, it starts all over again. So you get 5% on the first $5,000 and then an unlimited 2% on the rest of the year of all your earnings. So your earnings never expire, and what will happen is you'll end up with a nice little savings account that you can go and put down on a new GM vehicle. So if you're a small business owner or you have expenses and you use a credit card for purchases, you know you could be saving money towards a Corvette or a new GM product. And perhaps most of us will be able to save enough for a down payment or make a little dent in that. But the group actually we were with at Spring Mountain, I guess you could call them power users because their earnings allowed them, many of them, to purchase a new GM vehicle just outright, and because of the unlimited earnings which never expire. So it was actually very cool to hear their story. So that's the BuyPower Card from Capital One, and I'll post a link down there in the bottom there so you can check that out. But in the meantime, here's some of the things that go on when you take the Corvette Owners School at Spring Mountain.
That first run was all about just kind of creating a baseline of a normal everyday stop. Now when you guys come down here for the second run, it's going to be same speed as you make your way down. But this time when you start your braking, I want to see how quickly you guys can get the car stopped, okay? Treat it almost like an emergency situation. You're not going to hurt the car, it's not going to hurt the brakes. Cars are designed to do this. So treat it like an emergency situation and see how quickly you can get it stopped this time. Now when you guys apply a good amount of brake pressure, you may feel a little bit of pulsation underneath that right foot or force feedback in that brake pedal. Okay, the car is designed to do that, and we'll talk about what that is in a little bit here. But come on down, Keith. How quickly can you get it stopped this time? Alright, pretty good, man. You got it stopped right after that first short cut. There, go ahead and clear. And then add that steering input all the way in. Try to run over the face of that cone. Okay, swing it out wide. A little early there. There you go. Full steering, and then try to come back, almost all the way back to that orange cone. You want your right front tire out by that orange cone. That'll get you that big radius. There you go. Same thing here. You want your left front tire out back by that yellow cone, but you don't want to look at that cone. There you go. Good. That's good. And what those cones would represent is, that cone you're coming back to right here, like that blue one, that would be like your turning cone on the racetrack, which you'll find those out there. And you don't want to get in the habit of looking at them. You just want to acknowledge that they're there, but not look at them. That's looking good. Very good. I'm beginning to pick you guys on up here, so once you guys get back down to this side, you guys will go around that turnaround cone, just regroup in the back of the line here behind me, John, and Eddie.
Well, I'm talking with Victor, who is the Director of Operations at the Spring Mountain Motorsports Ranch and Motor Resort. And Victor, how you doing today?
Doing great.
Very good, very good. Well, I understand that when it comes to the fleet maintenance of the Corvettes here at Spring Mountain, you're the guy to talk to. So one of the things I wanted to ask you about is, when you get these cars from GM, what kind of setup do you do to get them ready for the track, and how would that be different than like if I went out and bought a car and wanted to set it up for the track?
Well, basically, we follow the procedures that GM set forth. We get a Stingray Z51. That's what we order. And the basic track prep is we put .4 brake fluid. We do a track alignment. We set the tire pressures to 26 psi. And we change the oil to 15W50, as well as the differential fluid. We change that quite often, after every 24 hours of track use. And that's basically it. We put our decals on it, and then we install a two-way radio so we can communicate with our students,
right?
And give them instant feedback, as if we were riding right seat. And that's basically it. Chevrolet built a great car from the get-go. Just a few items that get installed on the car. This is a 2017 Sterling blue car, and this one came with the one-piece rotor, so it doesn't require the rotor rings that come with the car. If you have a car with the two-piece rotors, however, you would need to install the rotor rings.
Okay.
That's the only other modification that we made.
Right. And in terms of dependability and reliability of the Stingray, how do you find that car to be?
It is. I've been around since the C4 days, and without a doubt the C7 is the most reliable of all the models we've had here. Very few issues. The biggest issue we have is actually just all the tires and brakes we use on the cars from all the students coming through.
Right. So you get these cars and they come new, I assume, right off the truck from Bowling Green.
Yes.
What kind of break-in period do you do? What kind of things do you have to get them? What mileage do you run them up to before they actually see any track duty?
Well, basically, with every car, we put minimum 1,500 miles.
Okay.
And that's mainly for the motor and the differential to break in. At the 500 mile mark, we actually change the oil per spec. And again, this is just to give the car ample time for the brakes to get bedded in, for the motor, the differential, and all the various components of the vehicle before it sees any track duty. So we're lucky enough that we get to put 1,500 miles on all these cars and daily drive them.
Right.
Instructors do as well. And it gives us a great platform to drive the car and see what it's all about and get all the features out of it as well. Learn all the new features.
What's the usual mileage that you run them up to before they are phased out of the program and a new one's put in its place?
Well, we like to keep the fleet fresh. We go through cars anywhere from 6 to 9 months, or around 8 to 9,000 miles that we keep them around. And that's just because Chevrolet introduces new models all the time. For example, the Grand Sport or the Z06 and whatever comes next. And we like to keep the fleet fresh. These cars see day in and day out duty. And it's not that after 8,000 miles are unreliable. It's just simply we like to keep the fleet fresh.
Absolutely, absolutely. In terms of your Corvette fleet, how many Corvettes would you say you have right now?
Currently we have about 90 Corvettes. We keep a fleet of Z06s. We've added the Grand Sports. Of course, we have the Stingray manual and automatic. So we have basically every Corvette, every high-performance Corvette on site.
Fantastic. Well, Victor, I appreciate the few minutes to talk to you, and I know you're a busy guy, so I'll let you get back to work. But great job. I've been in these cars today, and they run perfectly. So very good cars, and of course, great school. So glad to be here.
Thank you.
All right. So again, this is kind of what we're going to be doing here, folks. A little lead follow. As shown here, we have the instructor and the lead Camaro out front, and these three students are trying to follow that lead car like tracks in the snow. The lead car is going to be talking to you folks the entire time. They're watching you in the mirrors, giving you that instant feedback about where we're going, where we're looking, when we're going to start slowing the car down. You'll see our tail lights come on, what corner we're approaching, looking across to the right side for our apex. Really helps kind of bring it along a little quicker, honestly.
So I think we're going to get a view of Spring Mountain that we haven't seen before, and I'm going to be riding with an instructor while he's doing the lead follow with three students behind him in the Stingrays. I'm actually in the Camaro right now. So it's always amazed me how the instructors are able to drive really fast on the course, look in the rearview mirrors, and talk to the students on the radio as we go around the track. So I got permission. We're going to ride along with Rico, one of the instructors, and we're going to see how all this comes together, sort of from their point of view, which I think is pretty cool. So,
good there, Patrick. Right to the middle of the track, looking through the corner. Look out that right side of the windshield there. Find your apex. as we approach it. Want to make sure we use all the curbing, create a straight line into turn 2. A little bit of braking, 3 feet away from that near apex. That's looking good. And look at your driver's side window. You'll find the apex. Again, what's currently through the windshield is useless information for us. We want to make sure that we're looking where we want the vehicle to go, not necessarily where the car is going. That's looking good. Nice job. As we come out of turn 2, let's look for the turning cone for turn 3. We're going to point the car right at it. That gives us a nice straight line braking zone, and look for your apex. Should be able to see the apex cone now. Use your peripheral vision for the turning cone as you approach it. As we come out of turn 3, again, let's not look to the left. Let's not look at the exit. Let's look for the next corner. Down the middle, coming into 4 and looking out the left side. Try not to swing it out so wide there. Again, you're trying to mimic what I'm doing. We're just a little bit off my line there. Try to mimic exactly what I'm doing. I'm showing you guys the correct racing line.
Go to the right for me. Let's do a driver rotation. Down, Keith. Come on up behind here. Gotta slow it down a little bit more there, Todd. Go to a stop if you need to, okay? There you go. Tuck it behind that yellow 60. I know that's a hard thing, you know, when we get done with doing our laps, we go to the right, we're like all pumped up. I just want you guys to remember, when you go to the right, slow down, it's okay, we want that, we want to be on the straightaway or anything, okay? Nice brake, straddle the curve here. Good, Keith. There we go. Your grip, you want to feel it. Relax your grip on the steering wheel, and you should be able to feel, you know, what the car is saying. You know, if it's pushing, start to get a little chatter out of that front end. Middle. Now, if you go to throttle too much for turn 2, just remember to sacrifice what's going to come off and that'll help the car in turn 2. Todd, I see you there in the back. Okay, just go at your own speed. Like I said, I know I've said it a couple times. I don't want anyone to feel forced to keep up, feel like they're left behind or anything. Slide your braking. Tricky for me. Turn it, get it in. Roll on, something up the hill. Beautiful. Bring it left. Your eye going through 5A, 5B. The track's looking pretty gray, so we're good. You might have got the throttle too soon there, through 5B. But it looked like you were going out to the left right away. Now, Keith, I gotta back it down here on the straight to keep the group together. I'll slow down here and get to the straight. Looking good though, Keith. I like it, man. I like it.